Welcome to Coaching for Creatives with Kirsten. My name is Kirsten Call. I'm a therapist-trained life coach and a children's book author. Together, we'll get the drama out of our lives and onto the page. Let's get started. You are listening to Episode 77, Getting Better at Feeling Negative Emotions. I just went to Six Flags for the very first time. It's a New England amusement park with some of the very best roller coasters in the country. At least, that's what they say. We went with my youngest on his 14th birthday, and we were determined to try all of the roller coasters that we had heard so much about. We started with a smaller one. It's called the Wicked Cyclone. And it was actually pretty fun. My son, though, screamed for 30 seconds straight, and afterwards expressed quite a bit of trepidation about going on the craziest one or the biggest one called the Superman, of course. I didn't realize he was actually terrified until he said, "I am not going on that roller coaster." We told him he didn't have to go, but we were going to go on the Superman, and he could just wait for us. I might have also told him he'd regret not trying it out. So later, he told me that as soon as he was buckled in, he said to himself, "My fate is sealed. I'm done for." He closed his eyes, breathed, and definitely said a prayer or two, and ended up having fun instead of feeling fear. The rest of the rides were smooth sailing for him. Me, however, my brain jiggled a little too much after about 4 rides, and then I was done. Something about getting older, right? Terror, like Sammy felt on the Wicked Cyclone, is one of those emotions we do not enjoy feeling. There are so many emotions we try to avoid: anger, guilt, shame, disgust, loneliness, apathy, sorrow, boredom, annoyance. The combinations and possibilities for negative emotions are endless. So, as human beings, we're going to feel all these negative feelings many, many times in our lives. And when we feel these emotions, we buffer, naturally. What I mean by buffering is we do anything we can to distract ourselves from the negative emotions. You know something is a buffer if it has a net negative effect on your life. Some popular buffers are watching TV, social media scrolling, drinking, eating, playing video games, pornography, really any addictive behavior, right? Reading. Yes, I think you can never read too much, but if you're reading instead of doing the things that need to be done, reading can be a buffer. So the good news is it's totally normal to run away from negative feelings. It's totally normal to buffer and try to numb ourselves and distract ourselves. And also, if we learn to feel our feelings, we won't feel the need to buffer in the same way. And we can perhaps turn those buffers into things that we do in moderation so they don't negatively affect our lives. There's nothing wrong with watching TV or playing video games or reading. Only if there's a negative effect on our life does it become a buffer. Recently, the movie Inside Out 2 was released. Inside Out 1 was really good too. So these movies are so well done. And the premise is that we have emotions inside our heads, kind of leading us to think certain thoughts and do certain things. The original cast of characters is joy, disgust, anger, fear, and sadness. In the second movie, the main character, Riley, is hitting puberty, so a few more emotions are added: anxiety, envy, ennui, and embarrassment. The movies do such a good job of personifying emotions in a way that is funny and really resonates with how a teen human brain works. If you haven't seen the movies, I highly recommend them. But the point is, all of these emotions are needed in order for a person to function well. We can't stuff all our negative emotions down and expect to have no repercussions. When we buffer and don't allow ourselves to feel our negative feelings, it comes out in other ways, like physical ailments or mental illness. So, here are some healthy ways to feel our negative emotions. Number 1, notice the feeling. Sometimes we skip right to buffering and don't even realize there's an emotion behind it. We really need to be Metacognitive, notice our thoughts and notice what we're feeling. If you find yourself running away through distractions like TV or video games, ask yourself, is there a feeling I'm avoiding? And if you are avoiding a feeling, that leads us to number 2. Name the feeling. When you notice you're feeling pain you want to avoid, try to name it and recognize what the feeling is. Putting a name to the feeling is an important step in allowing yourself to feel it. I actually have a throw pillow in my office that is an emotions pillow, and it has all of these faces with different emotions, and it names all of them. And sometimes it's just really helpful to take a look or look at a list of what types of emotions you might be feeling, and that might make it easier to name the feeling that you're feeling. Okay, number 3, embrace the feeling. This means imagine the feeling as something you can hug. And imagine an actual hug between you and the feeling, as if you were hugging anger, like the character in Inside Out, right? It's something that is outside of you that probably needs a hug. Number 4, allow yourself to truly feel it. We've talked about setting a timer for 90 seconds and really allowing yourself to feel your feelings, whatever they are. So let's say you're feeling sorrow. This is an important emotion that we need to feel. Also, it's painful. And there are times when we really do need to feel it. So instead of buffering, allow yourself to feel the sorrow. Allow yourself to cry. What color is sadness? Is it purple? Is it blue? What does it look like? Does it look like the character in Inside Out? Is it a heavy stone? Is it a book? What does it smell like? If sadness tasted like something, what would it taste like? How does sadness feel in your body? How does your chest feel? How does your head feel? How does your throat feel? Your stomach? Really be present in your sadness. Almost always, if you truly focus on your emotion for 90 seconds and allow yourself to feel it and embrace that emotion, it will dissipate by the end of the 90 seconds. Number 5, breathe. Breathe into your feelings. Perhaps breathe in the hard emotion and breathe out the resistance to that emotion. Number 6, ground yourself. Remember, it's normal to feel what you're feeling. Perhaps ground yourself in the hard moments by identifying 5 things you can see in the room around you. After finding 5 things you can see, then identify 4 things you can touch. Then try to find 3 things that you can hear in the moment. Then identify 2 things you can smell. And lastly, identify 1 thing that you can taste. You should be able to do this in any place at any time, no matter where you are. And lastly, number 7, remind yourself that you need to feel all the feelings in order to be a healthy human being. We cannot feel joy without experiencing pain. We don't understand happiness without experiencing sorrow. Calm means nothing if we have not felt anxiety. So, as you feel negative emotions, as we all do sometimes, take a deep breath and embrace those feelings. You wouldn't be whole without them. Until next time, keep smiling. If you like what you've heard, check out my Get Yourself Unstuck program. Go to KirstenCall.com. That's KirstenCall.com and schedule a free consultation today. Coaching for Creatives is produced by Kirsten Call. Music and audio engineering by James Call.